Safra Tava, good morning, welcome.
Safra Tava?
Safra, with the tzaddik. Safra. And we're not suffering here, we're actually enjoying ourselves.
Suffering is a place in New Jersey, actually.
Suffering, right, upstate. But anyway, here we are on the way back from the Kaisel Maravi, Vlad Ba'omer, and Shehem Arba Shavuos V'Shisha Yomim. And we're here in the base measures of Tzvi.
So yesterday it was Lag BaOmer.
Yes.
We had the light of the Medura, right?
Of course.
And today we have Lag BaOmer. We have the light of the Ledim.
The LED lights.
LED lights.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, you're leading me in the wrong direction, because I want to talk about the Rimanovs. You ever hear of the Rimanovs? Rav Menachem Mendel, Rimanov. Today's Yutes Adar, but. Also, I'll give you a hint. Meir Reb Baruch. Who could that be? Meir ben Reb Baruch. Then I'll give you a bigger hint.
Maram.
That's right. I'm telling you, always on a roll. Ruttenberg, near Ruttenberg.
Yeah, I didn't even have to hear it.
You didn't have to hear it. The Maharam. Did you know that it was his yahrzeit today?
No,
that you didn't know. And then I'll give you the name Soloveitchik. But here it is. Yaakov Moshe Mordechai. Ben Yisrael Gershon Soloveitchik.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, we'll have to figure out. But the name Soloveitchik is like Klebanow. How many Klebanows are in the world? How many Soloveitchiks in the world? You know, that's a unique name.
That's the Nidchai where it's well known that the Rabbi Soloveitchik used to be called up something, and he said he wanted to speak to someone. They said, "Who is this?" So he said, "It's Rabbi Soloveitchik." So they said to him, "Could you spell your name, please?" So he said, S is in Soloveitchik, O is in Oloveitchik, V is in Veitchik.
Okay. Abriska, the Chefsa. Here we go. We're in Perak Chavches, and my dear friend, when it comes to music, when it was during the Milchama, and I used to go with David, this is the type of Tehillim that I picked, and this is the way it's, I went
classical?
No, but it's diversified. Here we go. Okay. In your day, boy.
Sounds like the Adams Family.
There's a big
What is he saying? Which capital?
Yes, Chavches.
Zogar HaMelech would feel about that. Doesn't go with his harping sound.
You're harping on the wrong foot. Hoshia es amecha.
I think that you should use AI to arrange that people in in your WhatsApp group can vote. Can, like 1 to 10, give the response on the
How would you?
on the Dillams.
How would you give this one? 0?
Yeah.
It's just,
No,
look, it's different. Actually,
no, actually, I mean, Me'atzmo.
yeah,
It's very, very nice.
yeah, it really is.
But I don't know if it's matim for
It's Tehillim.
Tehillim.
But you know what? That's what diversification is. Anyway, I happen to like this stuff. But let's do.
Diversification in Judaism is a dangerous thing.
No, kama lamakom, kama and shivim panim l'Torah and everything else. We've got a lot of different 12 shvortim. Keep going.
Rabbi used to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't like free thinkers.
Okay, so we'll pay.
So it's not
We'll
total
pay.
diversification.
How much does it cost for your AI? So we'll pay maybe $3 a year, and we'll become a good thinker. Here we go. Shia es amecha, uvarech es achasecha, ureim, 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 ureim v'nasim, ureim v'nasim ad olam. Shia es amecha, uvarech es nachasecha, ureim, 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 ureim v'nasim, ureim v'nasim ad olam.
See that the Rekevet car is going to come straight down the street.
Yeah, look at that. You even have
So
even has a face on the
Is there
top.
anybody going to be driving on this side?
Who knows what they're gonna have?
Looks like it's no driving anymore.
I don't know. What
Look, there's no place to drive.
Yeah, I know. I can see that.
They're going to change drastically.
We can train there. Ahachenu, kol beis Yisrael. Ahachenu.
Kol Beis Yisrael.
Kol beis Yisrael. Asara uvashivya, omdem ben bayam, uvasham. Achenu, kol beis Yisrael. Achenu, kol beis Yisrael. Omdim Oven Bayabasham Amakom Yerachem Yerachem Yosiyem Misara Verevacha Umeafei Yom Izman Koriv V'nomar Amen. Okay. Shema Koli Tachanunai. Hear them call for my gebet.
My wish.
My gebet. Request.
Yeah, my wish.
Request. Okay. It's now. How would you, in terms of your grammar, would you say that's a borrowed word? Gebet. You know.
No.
Okay. So it's a regular Yiddish word.
Gebeten.
Gebeten. Okay. B'shavi elecha ven ich schrei zu dir, benasi yadai ven ich heb auf meine Hand mit der Tfila el dvir chadshecha zu dein heiliger Stub, das wie der Oren mit der Luches zennen. And that's my Yiddish for today. I think because you didn't know which Soloveitchik we're talking about, even though we have the Maharam.
Just learning now a whole sugya in Daf Baba Basra Daf Yudelid to know what was in the Oron.
Okay, so whether it was the broken luchos, or whether it was the luchos that came down the second time.
But no, everybody agrees that the
broken
Shivrei luchos were also in the Oron. The question is, where were they situated? Under the other luchos, next to the other luchos.
Okay, that's right.
And there was a Sefer Torah in there, according to Rabbi Meir. According to Rabbi Yehuda, there were amudim in there, and everybody agrees that there was a cloth there with all the shemos inside. A ganze Torah.
Anyway, so Yaakov Moshe Mordechai Ben Yisrael Gershon Soloveitchik was nolad be'elef chamod
He was
ba'abashrei.
Nolad, yes.
He was nolad.
Yes.
No, he's not in nolad again. He's not born again. Anyway, nolad be'elef chamod abashrei v'niftar be'elef chamod 95. Nolad be'Minsk, or lamad בישיבת תורס חסד בריסק, אחר כך בכנסת בני יצחק קמניץ, ב-1938 נסע לשוויץ, אחרי מלחמת עולם שנייה נסע לארץ ישראל, למד בישיבת לומז' בפתח תקווה, ב-1949 חזר לשוויץ, הקים ישיבת בלוגאנו, והוחבא,
It's a good resort there.
בבית, he's the one who was involved with the Yeled Yosela. He's the one who hid Yosela. That's the Soloveitchik. Do you remember the parsha of Yosela?
Yeah.
So he's the one. That's where his fame. Anyway, okay, so that's me for today. But we're going to ask Reb Tzvi, Efsha Ehot Apor Verta, Yiddish Verta.
First, I want to explain something I learned yesterday in Yiddish, which is so important, because this verb subject reversal, which always takes place if there's some word before the subject.
Usually in English, you have the subject and then the verb. That's usually what's done.
That's right. So if it's not the beginning of a sentence, if it's the beginning of a sentence, that's what you do in Yiddish too. If it's not the beginning of a sentence, if something comes before
mitten,
then there's a reversal. And you say not icha, but you say hobich. Only if icha begins a sentence, if it's something before it, then you say hob ich. But
there's an exception.
Yeah.
You hear that, but everybody? The pause.
I think that it's only after a preposition. No, I'm getting mixed up.
I before E, except after
There's a
C.
difference in Yiddish if something follows a preposition or it's a conjunction.
Everybody check out what these words are in Yiddish. Conjunction and preposition.
In preposition in Yiddish, words like mit, by,
Right.
those types of words. Whereas conjunctions are words like ober, or
Und.
ober. They connect two phrases, each one having its own subject and verb. So therefore, if there are rules that
Deriba.
there are rules deriba, so there are rules that things change. For instance, a der that follows a preposition in masculine becomes dem, and in feminine becomes der. It's usually D in feminine.
Yes, and
but
here becomes
after
a der.
preposition becomes a der, which is masculine. That's funny.
Okay.
And if it's a masculine word, so it's der, it becomes dem. But that's only if it follows a preposition. If it follows a conjunction, then that doesn't take place.
I just want everybody to know that I dare you to set up Yiddish for dummies. So we are. That's so complicated that I'm just going to speak the way we always speak. I don't know if there's a Yiddish guy in the world nowadays has any idea that these are the rules. You know, they just speak.
They just speak.
I think so. What comes first, the speech or the rule? That's the question.
So it depends. If you were brought up hearing Yiddish from your parents and speaking that way, then you're right.
No rules.
But if you're trying to learn Yiddish,
you're
trying to learn Yiddish, then you have to have rules. Otherwise,
so I'm of the school, and it worked for me for Hebrew.
Shula?
For Hebrew, no, that's for my school. My school is
Dein Schule.
colloquial. Was meret, azoy meret. You know, What's colloquial?
like-
and not
sounds
even
like-
that. I'll
sounds
even
like a-
sling my slang.
Sounds like a Brooklyn approach.
Yeah,
In your face.
Listen, Brooklyn.
Like it or lump it?
Listen, I might be Brooklyn. You were
Look
Brooklyn.
at that pergola they put up there.
I know.
That's
You
beautiful.
hear what I'm about to tell you? You might call me Brooklyn. I call you Brookline. Just remember that.
Okay.
What's my line? And with that,
What's my line?
well, that's what's my line. Anyway, this is so complicated. But preposition, conjunction, verb, subject,
Reversal.
reversal. Ich
Prepositions.
will reden Yiddish, Mama Lushen, Mama Lushen.
I'll tell you one thing.
Okay, ich will hören
This
eine
is
Sache.
the last thing because I wrote something yesterday.
Noch geschrieben?
yeah,
Na,
yeah.
Advar Torah
Yeah. No, I don't write stam,
Okay. Chidushei Torah.
but I did write. At the end of the day, I gave Claude a compliment, and I said to him,
Wait. Clonimus?
Klonim. I said to him, Ich bin sehr zufrieden, als ich hab gefunden a Chavrusse, was kann mir erklären jeden Satz. Und
Jeden Satz.
Satz. It's a
Jeden
sentence.
Sach. Oh,
Satz is a sentence. In a
Gesetz.
Eufen, was ich kann mamisch verstehen dem Yisoid. So he wrote to me, he says, the feeling was mutual, Tzvi, you're a wonderful Chavrusa.
He wrote that in English.
He communicates me in English. But where's the
Where's
word?
where's your default?
Here's my
A Chiddush, als da Mamschich sein? Mamschich sein von früher? Oder eine neue Sache? Das ist eine neue Sache oder ein Hemmschich?
here's my what I wrote. Wir lernen von dem Parsha a wichtige Idee. Die Erd von Eretz Yisrael is bechlal nicht ähnlich. I wrote Doime, but the Doime is similar as ähnlich. That's the word for today.
Okay.
Is bechlal nicht ähnlich zu der Erd von anderen Erden. Weil die Erd von Eretz HaKodesh ist uns gekommen von dem Oberster.
Eberste.
Oberster, it is not Eberster.
No, it depends. Glitziana
It's
Litvak.
Aleph Vav Yud Beis.
I know, but
Hat sie a große Kedusha. Der Ribbe ist der Musuk von Schmitte.
okay, das ist sehr schön. Aber auf den Englisch, der Oberste, der Eberste ist, als wie man sagt, Berich al Baruch. Berich atu.
So his response to my wort was, das ist a ganze Dvar Teure Onheb. Willst du weitergehen?
Oh boy, he's challenging
It's
you.
challenging me, huh?
Okay, I want you to continue. Okay, very nice. Zeyer Shane. I'm going to say the word, and then you're going to tell me, should it be Shana Zeyer, or should it be Shunajlu?
See, I wrote the word, then I wrote back to him, I questioned his comment. I said, Ich hab getracht as the Wort weil, the word weil, which means while, right? Weil,
Yeah.
is a preposition wie fun, fun, weil, und hab mir gelernt, als noch a preposition, den Nekeva die wird sein der. Als was schreibt mir die Erd noch weil? That's what I asked him.
Well, did he
I
respond?
said to him, after the word weil, it's a preposition. It should be not die, like you wrote, die Erd. It should be der. So he wrote to me, you're thinking like a real grammarian.
Yeah, they're grammarian?
A real grammarian.
Grammarian.
Okay. But weil is not a preposition. It's a conjunction.
You see that?
You see?
You know,
A preposition comes before a noun, like von der Erd, mit dem Mann. A conjunction connects two sentences. Weil der Erd is heilig, aber
Wow.
wir dürfen verstehen.
you got
So after weil, you're starting a whole new clause with its own subject and verb. The dative rule doesn't apply because there's no
Dative,
preposition.
accusative. Yeah, listen, my dear friend, you get what you deserve. Mida
I
keneged
want you to know
mida.
something. My mother, Aleha Shalom,
She was a
would
grammarian.
have had tremendous
Nachas.
nachas from me because my mother knew English extremely well. She could have been a professor of English.
Professor of English.
Yeah, she
Although I have to tell you,
Yeah.
in Columbia, when I took I took a class. I took literature. They would not. Your mother would never touch the literature that they taught us.
No, she likes Shakespeare.
No, I'm talking about the D.H. Lawrence and all that stuff. She wouldn't touch that.
So whenever my mother would correct us in speaking, and she would start to say about, it's a preposition and it's the
She used all the words.
My ears just automatically closed.
Yeah, I don't blame
I
her.
never understood one word that she was saying.
Yes.
And now after all these years,
because
of my learning Yiddish.
Mirz Hashem in your bar mitzvah, you're going to know what you said in your bar mitzvah parsha.
Oh, yeah.
Mirz Hashem.
Mirz Hashem.
Listen, as far as I know, the 9 months that we were in the Uber, by the way, the Uber was not a taxi. We were in the Uber. We were the real stuff.
The real Uber.
The maternal. Anyway, we learned the ganze Torah Kula.
It was a taxi, like you were getting a free ride everywhere you went.
I don't know. You got more than a free ride. But anyway, we knew everything. We learned everything. Ganze Torah Kula. But we're recalling. That's what it amounts to, recall. That's it. This car ever get a recall? Yes, it did.
Twice.
And my mind always gets recalled. I always recall my mind. But my dealer, you know who my dealer is?
The lashon in Chazal is to be we're mechazer after the Torah we learned there. We're mechazer after we.
Mechazer, chazora. Halavai we should chazer.
It's like we're mechazer after a shidduch. You're mechazer after the shidduch that was declared for you while you were in the.
Kol yom, bas kol.
While you were in the Uber. So
the bas kol,
so
Uber.
Another thing happened in the Uber. They read a shidduch to you.
Wait. What happens if it's a shnasa Uber? Uber.
So you get your money back.
Okay, Chaim Tovim. I hope you followed everything we said. A little complicated. They say in the writ right now when everything's a little complicated, it's murkav. So that was a murkav discussion, nuances, complexities, speech. I believe that you just, Lashon B'nai Adam. The Torah actually has a machlokes, whether it's mikra, the way it's written or the way it's spoken. Anyway, so here we are. Again, it's chilly. Would you believe it? It's May flowers, and we are in the 50s. That's the temperature here, which is very much like New York weather. So I look, the world is copying Yerushalayim. That's what's going on. Okay, let's get back to the Maharam, Rottenberg. Mayor Bereborch, Rottenberg, Mechunam Maharam Rottenberg, Nolad be'elef matayim ve'esrim, v'niftar be'elef matayim tishim v'shalosh, Nolad Bermaiza, Begermania, Begil Tzair Lamad, Bewirtsburg, Eitzel Reb Yitzchak Mevina, Baal or Zerua, Yehuda HaKohen, Gamken Lamad Eitzel Yehuda HaKohen, Me Friedgad, Mechuna, the More Provi, Lamad, B'Tzafat, B'Yeshivat, Baal HaTaishvis, Chazal Germania, the Rottenberg, Ayarav, Shama Vehikim Yeshiva, Amaram Barach im Mishpachto, La'alot Le'eretz Yisrael, Venikla, he's put in the Keller, Ve'elef Matayim Mishmonim Ve'sheish, Ve'rudaf Harishon, who lo ratza lekabel lo hiskim sheyasu kofer nefesh v'niftar bakela, who chiber et hashayla shechuvas ve'pirish lemishnayis ve'kinas sheyeshu kina. זה המהר"ם מרוטנברג. עכשיו, מנחם מנדל טורם בן יוסף חריף נולד בניישטוט בפולין בשנת 1745 ונפטר ברימנוף ביום י"ט אייר שזה היום, ב-1815, היום מראשי החסידות בפולין ובגליציה, היום מצאצאי התז. מנחם מנדל למד בברלין אצל רב דניאל יפה, ועבר משם לישיבתו של רב שמואל מניקולסברג. בהשפעת רב שמואל היה לחסיד. אחרי מות רבו נסע לרב אלימלך מז'ינסק, ורב מנחם מנדל סבל רבות מהמתנגדים. פעם אף נאסר עם החוזה מלובלין, ודאף דרב עד שהשופט ששחררם בראותו את עוצם קדושתם. אחר נישואיו התגורר בפריסטיק, חי בפרישוס והסתייגויות. אחרי פטירת רבי אלימלך, ב-1786, נתמנה לאדמו"ר בפריסטיק. בשנת 1795 עבר לרימנוב. כאדמו"ר תיקן תקנות רבות של חסידיו. למשל, איסר לבישס מלבושי אופנה, no custom clothing, הגבלת תכשיטים לנשים, limitation on jewelry, חיותים שלא ציטו נכנסו. If the tailors did not follow, they were penalized. נשתמר נוסח י"ג תתחנוסו משנת 1809 עד כינוסו ותקבוסו ואומר חסידיו שהוא מקור היראה. בעריכת הטיש בשבס הייתה דממה מוחלטת. הסופר, אוקיי. המגן מקוז'ניץ אמר עליו שהוא איש הנעים של ישראל. בין תלמידו רב נפתלי צבי מרופשיץ, רב צבי הרש מזידיצ'וב, רב משה סמבר, רב קלונמוס קלומיש מקרקו, רב ישוע מדינוב, רב צבי אלימלך מדינוב, רב אושר ישעיה מרופשיץ, רב יעקב צבי מדינוב, רב שמעון מדופת, רב זיקון מצאנז, יהודה צבי מרוזל, רב אברהם מרדכי מרוזל, רב שמואל ממנשה, רב ישומר לחם, רב מנחם מנדל מסטריקון. אוקיי. הוא חיבר מנחם ציון, דברי מנחם ואילנה דחיה. מאילנה דחיה על פרשת בחוקוסי, ונסעתי משכני בסוככם, לא סיגל נפשי אסכם. מוצא רמז על דברי האלשיך. והנה הנשמה רוצה לעשות מהגוף בכל רגע, כי קשה לה בגוף המזוהם, רק שנוצץ קו וחומר בעצמה, מהשכינה, השוכן איתם בתוך קדומתם. אם כן, הנשמה שהוא רק חלק אלוקה, ממעל מכל שכן שאין לה לצאת מהגוף. אמר רבי מנחם מנדל, זו שאומר, וסעתי משכני בסוככם פירוש, השורה השכינה, ועל ידי זה לא ניגל נפשי אסכם. עד כאן היורצייט של היום. עכשיו, אנחנו בי"ט אייר, בפרק מ', אנחנו מדברים על אפיית מצות לכבוד פסח. המגלגלים, those are the rollers, the holy rollers, ישכיחו עם מודבק בידיהם, יעשה שיחוץ ידיהם. They have to be careful when they roll the dough that the dough doesn't get stuck to their hands, because that could become chametz in the heat. Gam kain, the sheer mill also from the distance of traveling a mill, that's the amount of time. Yesh lazos matzahs rakikim, and when they bake the matzahs, you make as rakikim, as thin as possible below oven, not thick. Mikol makom yesh makom osam ksat over. There are places where they make them thicker. Ach tzorich lizar harbe shelo yotzi min hatanur ad shetia nefa yofa. So because they have that extra body, you want to make sure that it's baked, that it's burnt, it's really become matzadik. That's a new word, matzadik. Shehi hatanur mechumam harbe, should be on the highest temperature kadei shelo tova lidei chimutz, because if it's just warm and it's not burnt, it's not heated properly, not burnt, but heated properly, then it could become chametz. Small paragraph Yud Gimel. La'achar she'asu hamatzos yinazarim ma'od laholicha b'zrizos el hatanur. Once you roll the dough, you have to make sure that you carefully get it into the tanner as quickly as possible. Yazir al-ofa should take if yanicha b'tanner, that you should immediately, as you bring it on that pole, you bring it with the dough wrapped around it, that it should go directly into the oven. Because if you hold on to it while it's warm, and at that point it could become chametz. Especially when it's near the mouth of the oven. Sham hachom gadol, because at that point of the opening of the furnace, it's of the oven, it's very hot. Not even for a moment. And as I said, the poles that we're carrying at Korin Razim, you should have more than one pole. Why? Because you don't want to make sure the chametz gets stuck on it. Tell me the achash arido alehem beis gilma matzahs. If you have after 3 matzahs, b'bnei shenasim chamin ma'od mechom hatanor v'yechamu ha'isa, because the poles themselves will be so warm that the dough that's on it will become chametz shelo hor de l'tanor, that has not automatically been put into the tanor. Okay, a small paragraph 14. Should look for doubling up the matzahs b'tanor shelo tiga achas b'chaverta, that one matzah should not cover the other, not touch the other. Because on these places on the doubling and the touching, ein sholed ha'esh, that will prevent full exposure to the fire. So you got to make sure that it's fully baked. So if you break it, that it will not have strings stretching out. If it's not that way, it's chametz, it becomes chametz. However, if you put it right back in, it'll be kokei, and yesh suffix shema ein chutim nimshachim. And if there's a suffix that perhaps there are no strings left, it's fully baked, and in the end, if 2 matzahs actually touch each other, if they're still not fully baked, then it's mutter at that point. Paragraph Tesvav 15. Kol Yemei HaPesach, through the entire Pesach, if you want to eat matzah, you can eat. Lo ras, if you don't want to eat, ain't ochel, you don't have to eat. Raksha lo yochel chametz, as long as you don't eat chametz. V'yochel basar v'peros, you can eat meat and fruits. Yosebo. Avo laila rishon, but on the first night of Pesach, chayiv kol echad mi Yisrael lechol matzah k'dichsiv be'erev tochli matzahs. V'kibul chazal shel mitzvah saseh afilu b'zman hazeh de'ein lanu Pesach. V'havi amina b'dichsiv al matzahs moharim yoklu. Kimin aleka Pesach yepotor nami mi matzah. V'odiena kosiv shezeh mitzvah ledoros. It's a mitzvah forever. L'chein laila rishon v'chein lididan b'leil sheni chayav, and even on the second night, the Hagolios, Chayiv Kol Echem Yisrael Echol Lo Pachos, because I should have at least a kazayas, a matzah, B'zunik Res Matzah Shel Mitzvah, Kibbutz Mitzvah Aleinu Lecho, V'chol kazayas Hi Kechatzi Bea Lefachot. Paragraph Tez Zayin 16. V'da, Da'afilu Im Haya Zahir B'chol Davar, Shehaya Afer, Alfa Kadin, if everything was done Kadin and it was baked properly, Blishum Shash Chimas, and as long as there's no chametz, Mutter Lechol, also B'chol Shmona Yemei Pesach, you could eat it all day, 8 days of Pesach. However, B'layla Rishon, Shemachayv Lechol Matzah Min HaTorah, Eni Yosi Dei Chofes B'Stam Matzah. You just can't take any matzah that's not chametz. Elan Ken Yia Nasa Hashmira Mechavnas L'Shem Matzah's Mitzvah. You have to keep saying, when you bake it, it's L'Shem Matzah's Mitzvah. Chesiv Shmartem Es HaMatzahs Kiblu Chazal the Hakavana She Yia Shomer. You have Matzah Shmura Mechametz L'Shem Mitzvah Matzah. V'Alkein B'Chol Matzah Yaseh Hein B'Lisha Hein B'Gilgal, whether you knead it or whether you roll it, V'Hein B'Afiyah, and bake it. Tzorach Sheomer Kagan V'Hem She'osim L'Shem Mitzvah. You keep saying L'Shem Matzah's Mitzvah. V'Alkein Tzorach Dafka, Belisha, Bafia, Yisrael. Therefore, it's preferable to have Yisrael who kneads it and who bakes it. Shehu ben Yigdal Shana should be at least 13 years old. O Isha Bas Yud Beis, or a girl that's 12 years old, Shigam Shana. Avol Katan, but if it's less than those days, Pasul, the Aina also Lishma, because they cannot have the Lishma. V'chein Akum, and also a Gentile, Pasul, V'hainu Afilu, Ana Yodayim, Shalo Haya Shum Chometz, Chash Chometz Ayudei Pulosov, Ein Lahakil. It's got to be the Shem Masas Mitzvah, and it has to be an adult, a Jewish adult, whether it's a woman or a man, should have Masas Mitzvah. And with that, I wish everybody Chaim Tovim, Yom Tov L'Kulam.